Hello class, today we're doing something really amazing. We're gonna be learning about Blackout art lesson. We're gonna learn how to make our own poetry out of just scraps of old books that were otherwise would be thrown away and recycled. Uh, we're gonna step by step choose words out of a text that makes sense to us, and we're gonna do it this way. Recycle this book that otherwise would have been recycled and thrown away from by library. It's a 1964 book, and we've got so many pages here. There are 673 pages and more that are no longer being used. And so we're gonna create something new out of them. Okay, so how to make a blackout poem. I'm gonna read that again. How to make a blackout poem of your own. All right, so step one, receive a random page from our teacher, Miss Craven. So I'm gonna randomly pick a page, open the book anywhere, and I'm gonna take out a page just for you, and you're gonna grab it out. What's the second step? You're gonna get a page. You have your page. Number two, you're gonna read the page and let some words just jump out at you. So I started reading my poem and I started circling things that just jumped on me. I like buildings, hills, over, background, figures, solidity, break, illusion, majestically. You get to choose your own words. I first circled them with a pencil in case I changed my mind so I could erase it. Then I used the highlighter to highlight them to step out of the page a little better. So you're going to use a yellow highlighter and you're going to use a regular pencil to do this. You're going to circle your special words. These words are called anchor words. Anchor word means that it really jumps at you. It was calling out to you. It kind of like you looked at a page and you just kind of searched for the words. But first is read the page and let some words jump at you. Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate it in a minute, but we're going to finish the instruction first. Next is circle these special words with a pencil. You're going to use a pencil. Next is highlight with a yellow highlighter over the circle words, like I showed you. You're going to use that highlighter, okay? And then use a black marker to erase, otherwise known as blackout. That's why the poem is called Blackout. You're erasing the other words and covering the other words. So what does that look like? We can have different ways to use a black marker to either just cross out the words that we don't want there, or we can just draw over that. Okay, let me show you the process. Let's follow the direction. Action number one, get a page. Okay, I have two sides here. This one, the words are very small and there's a lot of illustration. So I'm going to choose the one that has more words with it. So first I read the word on the page. The gnome. I saw a gnome as plain, sitting on top of a weather vane. He was dressed like a crow in a silky black feathers, and there he sat watching all kinds of weathers. He talked like a crow too. Caw caw, caw caw, when he told me exactly what he saw. See, this one is a real poem. This page is 155, and he talks about poetry of the child's world. So it gives you an actual poem. So copying an actual poem and choosing the whole thing is not the point. The point is to choose words out of this page and make your own poem out of it. But we are still reading the poem. So for now, as I'm reading, the word that jumped on for me was the gnome. I'm going to circle it. I might change it and erase it if I change my mind later. For now, I circled it. I'm going to finish reading the example of a beautiful poem that this is. Snow to north of him, sun to the south, and he spoke with a bleaky kind of mouth. But he wasn't a crow, that was plain as plain, 'cause crows never sit on a weather vane. What I saw was simply a usual gnome, looking things over on his way home. And then you're going to continue reading your page and see what else jumps at you. There are many verses about child's play world, both real and imaginative. The new little boy is refreshingly antisocial. Picnic by the sea is a child's view of the queer grown-ups who sit sunning themselves when there are so many wonders to be explored. Halloween is particularly chivalry celebration of their favorite festival, and is delightful for these chores to speak. Pirates, the kite, growing up, visitors, teddy bear, old gray goose, and surprise are all good examples of this group of verses. And you're going to continue reading. But some words you're going to skip and some words will just jump at you. So for me, I circle gnome, the child, new little boy, and then I see a teddy bear, and I'm gonna go to this page and I'm gonna choose awake, this happy day, and I'm gonna continue reading and see what else jumps at me. The young child of gardens, the word of gardens in this picture. And I'm going to end my poem there. Now I'm going to look at the instructions again. So I circled them. I've read the page and some words jumped at me. And now I'm ready. I circled them with my pencil. And now I'm ready to highlight with a yellow highlighter over the circled words. And I'm going to read my poem now. So what I chose was the gnome, the child's new little boy, teddy bear, awake, this day, this happy day, the young child of gardens in this picture. And it doesn't have to make sense. Or if you want to add something, just look for words that will complete your poem. For example, the gnome, and to make it a full sentence, I could add maybe saw, just the word saw. The gnome saw. The gnome saw the child and if I wanted to end something, the child's world. Okay, so now I have a full sentence. I have the gnome saw the child's world. And then a new sentence starts here. New little boy. Maybe I should say and his teddy bear. Let me see if I can find and. So the little boy and teddy bear. I couldn't find his, but I said and teddy bear. the little boy and teddy bear. See, trying to make it a little more sense out of it, so it's not so just words, so it connects better. The gnome saw the child's world, new little boy and teddy bear awake. This happy day, the young child of gardens in this picture. So now I'm done with my poem. I can rewrite it on a separate sheet of paper. To see what I have, if it makes sense, or if I have to keep changing it or redo it. So at this time, I finished rereading my poem and I wrote it on a piece of paper separately so it makes more sense. And I wrote, the gnome saw the child's world, new little boy and teddy bear, awake this happy day, the young child of gardens in this picture. That was my poem. Now what I do with the rest of the picture is I'm going to start blacking out. It's a blackout poem. So how to make a blackout poem? So we're going to black out the rest using a black marker or any other different choices. You can also use a black pencil this way, but you don't just have to go across and black it out. You can do different drawings around there. So what I'm going to choose is I'm going to go ahead and start drawing over the area that I don't need to use. So the gnome, I'm going to just take my black marker and I am going to make a little gnome head when I'm blacking it out. And you can create any picture that you like as far as over the words, just so to black it out. So each one is going to be unique and different and original. And my gnome is going to have big ears and big beard. But I'm going to be careful not to color in the words here. I am going to highlight them even more by circling them with a black marker so I don't accidentally draw over them. So I am just one more time going over all the words, making sure I'm not going to lose them. So I'm highlighting them like so. That way I'm not going to draw over it. And now I'm going to give him a beard to my gnome. And I can do two different, I think that will look beautiful. I think I'm going to use a black marker and a black pencil or a black crayon. And I'm going to black out my beard and my drawing. See, this one can go further. Maybe his beard is going to go further because I want to cover over this whole area. Maybe the beard is going to be nice and long. Okay, it's going to be a long beard. Lots of texture. I'm making lots of short lines here for my beard, for my gnome's beard. I'm going to give him a big nose, wide nose. I'm going to give him nice eyes. Just circle like that. And I can even use my other colors. I'm going to black out the other words with. I don't need to, if they're a little bit visible, that's okay. You don't need to completely black them out. As long as the one word is really jumping out at you. If some of the words are showing, that's fine. Don't worry about having to black everything out. You don't have to do that. There, I have my gnome. The gnome, okay, maybe I will give him a jacket too. I'm gonna give him pants and a belt. Maybe he should wear something in his hand, a teddy bear, because I see a teddy bear. So a teddy bear. So he's gonna hold a teddy bear here. So there's gonna be a teddy bear. And I'm gonna put a teddy bear right there. And the gnome is holding him, so his hands there. Holding him. There we go. I imagine it's around this happy day, gardens. So I imagine my gnome is wearing beautiful green outfit in nature and in gardens. It's a happy day from the poem. I'm trying to kind of use the words to tell me what to draw and get inspired by the new poem I made. Just make a drawing about that poem. So I'm giving him a nice green jacket. And my teddy bear is gonna frown. My gnome's hands are gonna be orange like his face. And his pants are gonna be nice and blue. And I'm gonna read my poem again to see if any other words can help me complete my poem. The gnome. And I wrote it here again. The gnome saw the child's world, new little boy, and teddy bear. Awake this happy day, the young child of gardens in this picture. So I think for the rest of the picture, I'm just gonna draw trees and gardens. I'm gonna just draw flowers in a tree on this happy day because it talks about gardens and a gnome seeing a little boy. So I'm getting inspired by the words in this new poem, Blackout Poem. And so for the rest of the space to black out my other words, I am going to put a lot of leaves so it looks nice and natural. And at the same time, I get to black out all the other poetry I'm not gonna use. And I'm gonna keep coloring everything because the video is now 18 minutes. I would like to speed it up just a little bit, so I am going to keep working busily on filling everything up and coloring my page. I can do a lot of texture on my leaves. That will help me, and some shading on the trunk. Cover all of the other words I'm not using, like I was doing in the beard. So I am gonna color it all in. Maybe I'll do some flowers too on the tree to highlight what a happy day, what a sunny, nice, happy day this is. And maybe there's gonna be a nice sun coming from the corner on this gnome. And I'm gonna finish coloring it, coloring over all of the areas. And then all the things that gonna jump out at me in the poem are gonna be the words that I'm not gonna draw over. I'm not gonna cover them. I'm gonna keep them. And this is how it's gonna look like when I finish. So I am getting close to be done, and I'm even using my highlighter to paint in the rest of the book with the sunshine because it's such a happy day. And I'm even going over some of the green pencil or orange pencil and highlighting everything. So it jumps out at me and it just gives it a really bright color, which I really like. And I'm gonna keep finishing this up, and I'm gonna speed it up again, and then I'll come back to you to show you the end. So the camera is not picking it up. It's much more colorful and real when you come up and look at a close-up here in my journal. This could be a journal page in your art journal sketchbook, of course. And it's a beautiful poem that we did together called the Blackout Poem. So as you can see, everything is colored, and just the words that I wanted to pop out are popping out, and I can read it. And if these are still bothering you too much and you want them gone, you can do more texture over them and just black them out this way. Or if you like to keep them and you drew with your colored pencil over them and they don't obstruct your vision and you feel like they go well with your artwork, you can keep them, or you can completely black something out if you don't like those words by going over it several times and just making the lines thicker. Okay, so it's up to you just how much you want to black out the rest of the picture. For example, here I can make it just highlight that, or I can change it, and that would be your poem done. Like now I can actually see the words better because I cover over the rest. So I see the gnome, and I can also connect the lines where I'm supposed to read. If you want to, you can even take a different color such as this, like red, to highlight them more, and I can circle so it's easier to read the gnome. And then so is the next word. Maybe add some red to his head, and maybe now circle the word so it comes out more, and I can see better with the red. The gnome saw the child, and see how I went over the a little bit. So be careful not to lose part of your words that you choose. Be very careful not to draw over the ones that you chose, because it's easy to just keep coloring and then cover the ones that you wanted the words to be there. So don't do that. See, so you can highlight them even more. But at this point, you would be done, and that would be your special poetry. So you would have two in your journal. You would have one where you rewrote the poetry, and the second page where you just made it into a picture. Okay? So now is your turn. I can't wait to see your poetry. And again, it's called the Blackout Poetry of Your Own. See you in class.